What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are discussing, yes, you already guessed it, MK677. And yes, you guessed it again, I already did make a video on MK677, but I wanted to touch on it again because it's such an interesting compound. I know through all of my forms of social media, it is definitely the most requested one I get. So let's go ahead and dive into what is MK677. But before we do that, you know the drill. I am not a doctor. Do not do anything without your doctor's supervision. This will all be for informational and educational purposes only. But if you happen to need anything for your lab rat and you want third-party tested 99% purity, the first link in the description down below will be where to do that. MK677 is commonly thrown into the category of SARMs, but it's actually a growth hormone secretagogue. And I'm going to tell you in this video why it is the best replacement to actual HGH or human growth hormone. Now, the reason MK677 got so popular and blew up in the bodybuilding community is mainly because of its ability to enhance growth hormone levels and also IGF-1, which basically, in summary and in short, helps enhance recovery, muscle mass, and strength, while also having little to no side effects. If you are to run MK677 with your lab rat solo, you do not, and I repeat, you do not need a PCT. It does not cause testosterone suppression, does not affect your hormones. So if you are running it solo, you do not need PCT. Let's make it as simple as possible for all of you watching. What can you expect to get, or the benefits out of MK677? It's going to be increased muscle gains, enhanced recovery, better sleep quality, and also can improve the quality of your skin and hair. Now, if you haven't already gone and stocked up after hearing all that, I don't know what you're doing, but let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. So what would be the dosage of MK677? More commonly and on most forums, you're going to see people run it anywhere from 10 to 30 milligrams per day. The half-life of MK677 is 24 hours roughly. But what that means for those of you who don't know what a half-life is, it basically means the drug remains active in your body for 24 hours. Thus meaning you only need to dose it once per day. Now, from my personal experience and what I have seen through trials and studies with MK677, going above 30 milligrams per day is really pointless. You don't gain any more benefit, you're basically just wasting your money, and you are definitely gonna feel it even when you get to around 20 milligrams per day. Now, common side effects I personally experienced was a drowsiness throughout my days, but that was also because I believe with MK677, and this is very individual based, I was getting such deep sleep that I actually woke up tired. But also on the other end of the spectrum, I've heard the complete opposite from people where they wake up feeling completely rested where they never have before. So for you and your lab rat, that's really going to be trial and error. The number one side effect I personally experienced with MK677, and it happens every time immediately when I start taking it, is the increase in hunger. That is why I recommend, if you are doing a cutting phase, prepping for a show, just trying to lose weight in general, do not take MK677 because it is a well-known and very common side effect is increasing hunger. And obviously if you're in a caloric deficit, you want to avoid eating more calories than you need. Now, a common misconception that I hear from people in DMs and in person all the time is they ask me about running an MK677 cycle for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, the super short, well-known cycle lengths. But if you actually want to get the most out of MK677, you need to be using it for a longer period of time. Don't get me wrong, MK677 can be very great ran on its own, but it's more commonly going to shine and be much more extravagant and crazy when you stack it with, say, LGD 4033, RAD 140, stack it with Cardarine, stack it with any other SARM on the market. But that doesn't mean you couldn't run it solo. Like I mentioned, if you're one who doesn't want to mess with your hormone levels at all, you could definitely run it solo. That way you don't need a PCT. And I can say of all the family of SARMs, MK677 is probably going to be one of them with the least amount of side effects. Keep in mind, these are also going to be user dependent. You might not experience any yourself. You might experience all of them. It's hard to say. Fatigue, being tired, increased appetite, headaches, increased blood pressure. Those are going to be the more common side effects with this compound. Now, if you are actually doing a bulking cycle and you're just trying to put on as much mass as fast as possible, definitely recommend it. In the beginning of the video, you heard me mention how it is the replacement, or it's the better version of HGH or human growth hormone, and let me tell you why. Not because of the actual results you get out of it, but simply the money and the cost. You can get very similar results to that of HGH with MK677, but for a fraction, and I say a fraction of the cost. And I know most bodybuilders, people in fitness, majority of the population out there aren't the most wealthy, well-endowed people. They can't just be throwing out money left and right. And MK677 offers you an affordable alternative to that of HGH. Now, trust me when I say there's going to be a lot of vendors, a lot of supplement stores, a lot of people out there selling bunk and complete waste of your money products. And that is why I always recommend trust your source, make sure it is third-party tested, make sure what you're paying for is what you're getting. And that is why I provide you with the first link in the description down below. If you guys like these types of videos or you want something else reviewed, make sure to leave that in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like on it if you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, you can definitely DM me anytime, RealKennyKO. I'm gonna just say this now, I can't answer all of you. I get so many DMs on the daily, but I try and answer as many of you possible. And on that note, I will catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.